Well, we all here run into FEMA.
Yeah, while we're discussing electric stuff, I would like to discuss some FEMA stuff. Kind of some new information as of Friday and today. So I put this spreadsheet together just to tell you where we are at on all of these different project worksheets that we've submitted. And you can see that we've received FEMA funding for almost all of the separate project worksheets. We have received nothing from the state. That occurs then at the closeout of all of the projects. When we have all of our small projects, and they consider anything, I think, less than $63,000 to be a small project. When all of the small projects are done, then we can go ahead and apply for this 10% from the state. So, down at the bottom of the top section, it says future electric work. And we gave them a project worksheet for $16,000, $16,110, and FEMA has paid us. $12,082 out of that has been paid. That actually is for work, for future electric work that hasn't been done yet. So we submitted 3 project worksheets for future electric work. And the one was reconductoring those 40 miles, and that was $2.some million, and another $80,000 or $90,000 for varying a couple sections of line. And then we submitted a third one for $16,000 to do a lot of repair work. And this would be tightening guys, resagging the lines. If we have any frays in the lines or bird cages, they get out there and fix those. There's just several things that were identified on miles of line that would not be reconductored. And these things then were written up as a separate project worksheet to be fixed. So that's it. We've received the money. We need to continue to do the work. So those guys have been out working on this.
We've been using it as a fill-in job, what we've been doing. When we're not busy doing other customers' work orders, we go out and do ice storm repair.
And they'll continue to do that for probably quite a little while, yes. There is some time limits on this. Everything has to be done within 18 months of the original disaster, so it doesn't extend out forever. But this will keep crews busier for the next, it can be for the next months, I think. The big one, though, there is the dark highlighted box, where we submitted that project worksheet for the Texoma and all that repair work that was done right immediately after the storm, $657,000. So the good news, the great news out of this is that has been approved, it has been obligated, the funds are available. This is a large project in their definition, so we need to request in advance of the funds, and we get most all of those. Actually, FEMA's share is $493,000 some dollars, and the advance we can request is this $491. So we will go ahead and request that advance just as soon as we can. And they said expect the turnaround then to be somewhere around 3 weeks. So here within about a month or so, we ought to have received a lot of these funds from FEMA. Then you look at the lower left-hand corner. These were the funds that we used for the ice storm repairs. So the main thing to do when we get reimbursed those monies would be to pay off the banks, and the remainder then would likely go into our improvement fund. And as we work through these, we do get that 10% of the state funding yet to come back, but that'll be in a while. So this should help us out on our financial situation a little bit. So that's the good news of the moment, is that there's light at the end of the tunnel for the
This is a trade before the next one happens.
Yeah.
before the as far as our large projects, our $2 million project is still being reviewed. It has not been approved, and it certainly has not been obligated for funding. So we still want to follow that same plan that we had talked about a while back. If that project gets approved, even though the the funding would not be obligated yet. If it gets approved and we know that it's, there's a 90-some% chance that it's coming down the pipe at some time. When it gets approved, we would want to proceed with the engineering on the rebuild project. We wouldn't proceed with the actual construction yet, but we would want to kind of get a head start on the engineering and make sure that's ready to go.
To give you a kind of time frame on that would?
No, nothing more concrete. Other than to say they threw in some new stuff on historical clearance now, and we, even for replacing poles and stuff, we need to get some historical clearance. And in order to get this historical clearance, they got one FEMA guy who's kind of working all of the area electric utilities, and he would come in, kind of do a paper search first to see if there's any potential historical significance in the area. And if there is, he'd come do a physical search and then determine if you might need to do a full-blown study to make sure that you could work around the historical significance of it. But he's the one guy, and the state has said, they prioritize stuff about work that has got to be done yet this fall. And this guy's working on the work to be done yet this fall, so we are further down the list.
I just hope no Indians are buried by the poles, is that true? Okay, thanks, Bill.
Thanks, Bill. Thanks, Bill.